Hey guys, Prangell Gaming here, and welcome to my 200 subscriber special. Yes, I've hit 200 subscribers, and I am eternally grateful for you guys subscribing to my channel and putting up with me throughout this entire time. And well, I asked you to put in some questions, and I've got quite a lot of questions here. I'm also going to add a couple of things that I just want you guys to know a little bit more about me in terms of footballing terms, of what I like, and etc from that. But I've got some really interesting questions, a couple Millwall, couple very hard ones, so I'll be getting right into that right now. But also just want to say again, thank you so much for 200 subscribers, and I know that my channel is mainly Millwall based, and I know some of you don't really like Millwall, and I just want to say thank you for sticking around and watching my content. I know a lot of it is made up from Millwall, and I am going to try and add a few things that aren't really around Millwall, because I know that some of you don't like it, and I just think that just to go and show that I can do other stuff that isn't just related to Millwall. So enough about that, and let's actually get into this main purpose of this video. So the first question that I've got here is from Gingerberry, and he said, who is the best player right now? Well, I'm going to admit here that I'm a Cristiano Ronaldo fan, despite being a Millwall fan obviously, and him doing some quite controversial stuff to Millwall in the FA Cup final. And well, I've got to say, he's an exceptional footballer. I've never really likened Messi as much as I have Ronaldo. I've just really liked Ronaldo. I still think he's fantastic, and he even coached, technically, Portugal to the Euros, which is brilliant. I think he's sensational. And he also had another question, and that was, who do you think will be the best player in the world in 5 years? And well, you can't do this to me. You really can't. That's a very hard question. I could tell you a couple of contenders. Gareth Bale will be up there. Neymar will definitely be up there. And I think Antoine Griezmann will be up there. And if the way he continues playing, then maybe Kevin De Bruyne. But you can't forget Sterling, but I don't really like Sterling too much, so I'll just ignore him on the side. Who do I think is going to be the best player out of those, though? Oh, that's a hard one. I'm going to go with Gareth Bale, just because you showed how strong he is with team spirit and everything, and I think that Real Madrid really will build the team around him as soon as Ronaldo kind of drops off the beacon a little bit for him. So I'm going to go with Gareth Bale. I really think he's fantastic. All those players that I mentioned are brilliant, and I just think that if any of those players become the best player in the world, they truly deserve it. They are sensational players. I know you pay a lot of money for players nowadays, but they are definitely worth the money you have to pay. And the next question is from Calzy HD, and he said, what has been your best Millwall memory? Well, I am gonna go with one of two things here. I'm kind of sitting on the fence of what one to pick, so I'll tell you both of them, and then I'll kind of decide from there. So the first one is obviously when Millwall got promoted at Wembley to go up to the Championship. That is a very fond memory of me. I've really only started supporting Millwall since I have been from about year 5, year 6. I can't really remember what the ages are then, but I've been supporting them since, and I've been to every single time they've been Wembley ever since then, and I just love it. Wembley is a stadium that I love going to, and so it's one of those feelings that when you win there, it's truly amazing. And who knows, maybe we have to go to Wembley this season, but I would very much prefer if we could get automatic promotion. And obviously the other one is meeting the players, and maybe meeting Tony Craig, because I met him when I was a lot younger at a Millwall community scheme thing in Dartford when I was playing my football, and it was really nice meeting him, and I get along with him. I talk to him every now and then, every time we see him at the events that Millwall hosts, where you get to meet the players and get them to sign stuff and have pictures taken. So I have a talk with him every now and then. But I am probably going to have to say that probably my best Millwall memory would be obviously getting promoted to the Championship. Obviously we have been relegated since then, but it was a very nice actual memory to have. The next person is Elite She to pose a question, and he said, who do you think was better for Millwall, Liam Trotter or James Henry? Well, I'm not going to lie here, it literally is no competition. I hated Liam Trotter completely. I don't think he's a good footballer at all. And James Henry was fantastic. I met James Henry also at a Millwall community scheme thing, and he is a brilliant footballer. I am slightly frustrated that it didn't work out at Wolves for him, because he's fantastic. He's very fast, very aggressive, and I think he's good at channeling that aggression in his play, and that's one of my favourite things about him. I was absolutely gutted when he left the club, but obviously we'll have to see how his career turns out for the rest. I believe at the moment he's on loan to Bolton, so he'll still have to play us this season. The next person to pose some questions to me is Joe Holloway, and he said, if Millwall was to disband, what team would you support? Now, I don't want to get too much hate for my response to this question, because a few of you may know, a few of you may not know, but if I was to actually support another team that wasn't Millwall, then I would probably support Arsenal. Now, I've got the shirt down here. Let me just quickly grab it for you guys to see. So this is last season's shirt. So obviously I wear that quite a lot, and I like to see how Arsenal get on, but obviously Millwall is the club I literally hold in my heart, and I love them so much, and that's why so much of my content is built around them. But Arsenal, I don't know why, really. I don't really know 100% why I support them. I just think because I kind of like their appeal of a club, the fact that they've kept their manager so long, the fact that they haven't had to spend millions of pounds on players to try and build a team that's consistently getting Champions League football season after season. And I will never complain about the fact that a team in the Premier League is not doing well, because the fact is they have all that money. Millwall don't do well, I might complain, because we don't have the money. We can't really sort out the situation. They have practically unlimited money these days, and sometimes that is a little bit frustrating to be a Millwall fan and to see that, but that's just what I would say there. Then he also said, what positions would you think Millwall would need to improve on if we were to go up? So, left back, definitely, because Joe Martin isn't strong enough to do it on his own. I think we need another centre-back. I really don't know what it is. The centre-back position just isn't good enough in my opinion. Tony Craig is good, don't get me wrong, but I think we need a stronger, more physical player like Danny Shittu. And, well, it was a shame that he left, but we do need someone like him, because the leagues are becoming more physical, and that's just the way I feel there. I think we've got decent centre midfield, decent left midfield. The right midfield seems to be going pretty alright, and the striking seems to be going alright, but if we could get a fantastic bargain on a phenomenal striker, then go for one, because I still don't think that Gregory can do it all on his own, and Morrison isn't getting any younger, let's be honest. And he also said, who do you think the best player has been at the moment? Or he said, who do you think the best player is? For him, it was Jordan Archer. So, who do I think the best player is at Millwall? Well, it's kind of a hard one, because I could easily go with a simple option and go Jordan Archer. But I am really... my favourite Millwall player, like the one that I think is fantastic, is Williams, Sean Williams. Now, I know I'm going to get hate for that, because Williams is a controversial figure in the Millwall light. Some fans love him, some fans don't. Because since I've been doing my analysis videos, you see how much play is involved in. Yeah, fair enough, we don't finish them all, but he was involved in the goal that we scored against Southend, playing the ball over the top. Those chipped balls are fantastic. He's been doing that consistently, and sometimes I just get frustrated that fans actually complain about that. So that would be my favourite Millwall player at the moment. And another question was set by Ben Hicks, and he said, who's your favourite footballer of all time? Now, that really is a hard one. As I've said, I haven't really watched football games from the past. I've really only started watching it for a decent amount of years now. But who would I say would be the best player that I've seen play? And maybe... is it a stretch to go? I would say I'd say my favourite player of all time would probably be an English player. But I wouldn't go with Rooney, because I don't like Rooney that much. Maybe someone like David Beckham, or maybe someone like Rio Ferdinand, a great English defender. Sol Campbell was good in his time as well, so I'd have to say, can't really decide, but I'd say an English defender, maybe Beckham. So that's kind of where I'd go from there. But because I've had so little of watching old football games, and everything. It's not one of those things that I can say, oh, I think he's been fantastic, or I think he's been fantastic. But a player that doesn't get enough credit for his time is Michael Essien. I think he was phenomenal. He's definitely a shame that his career hasn't really done much since he's left Chelsea. He's gone to a bunch of other clubs. I can't quite remember where he's at now. I know he was at AC Milan, and then he's gone to somewhere like Panathinaikos. So it's one of those things that I'm not too sure about. But now they were all the questions, but I actually want to tell you a few of my favourite teams from outside of England. So the Spanish League, it'll be Atletico Madrid. I think they've been a fantastic side. Jackson Martinez was there. Jackson Martinez was a fantastic player. I'm gutted he went to the Chinese League. He would have been perfect for a Premier League team. Hint, hint, maybe Arsenal, but they always need strikers, so we're not going to talk too much about that. Then for the French League, the Ligue 1, I'd go with FC Lorient. It's just for the fact that I love the colour orange and their kit looks so nice for me. Then we go into the Italian League and I go with Napoli, and they've done fantastic, surprisingly, selling Gonzalo Higuain. I'm very surprised, but obviously they have got some fantastic players there. Koulibaly is brilliant. They've also got Gulam that is fantastic. Milik was a perfect signing up front, and I think that that may have contributed to the factor that their team has got the decent things that they needed to improve on. Now I'm kind of been able to show you a couple of shirts of these final three teams. So for Germany, I've never been a Bayern Munich fan. I absolutely hate Bayern Munich. I hate that they win the league practically every year, and I actually would really prefer Borussia Dortmund. I've got the shirt here. Literally, let me just sort it out. There we go. I've got the Dortmund shirt of last season here, and they are a fantastic team, and you'll see a little bit later on the players that contribute to some of my favourite players, that some of them would have been in there. And with Portugal, it would be FC Porto. I've also got the shirt down there. Let me just quickly grab it for you guys. Right, so here's the FC Porto shirt. I haven't had one of the most recent ones, but this is the latest one that I've got, really. But they are a fantastic Portuguese side. Obviously Casillas is there now. They're a pretty strong side. I remember when they did Bayern Munich over in one of the games, and well, it didn't work out after that, but we don't want to talk too much on that. And the final team would be an Australian side, and because my cousins actually live out in Australia, so it's one of those things. I like the colour orange, and of course Brisbane Roar are orange. I've got one of their kits right down here. Let me just grab it for you guys, and there's one there. So obviously this is quite an older shirt. It's not as easy to get control of actually getting an Australian team shirt, but that was just another side that I like. Now I'm just going to quickly share some of my favourite players from around the footballing world. So we've got Antoine Griezmann. I think he's phenomenal, done really well at the Euros, always been a fan of him. Ilsam Soleimani, phenomenal Sporting striker he was. Obviously now he's gone Leicester. I'm very happy he scored those goals for Leicester recently. He is brilliant. I hope he becomes one of the best strikers in the Premier League. Nolito, it's a shame he got sent off in the last game, but he's been one of my favourite players. I've followed him for years when he played for Celta Vigo, and obviously he's a great footballer. Shame obviously of that red card recently. Jesus Navas, a lot of Man City fans have not really liked him, but Negredo and him were a fantastic partnership recently in the past at Sevilla, and I really loved them when they played there. I used to have a Liga BBVA team and used to have those two as main options. They were fantastic, and I still love Jesus Navas, and mainly he's one of the first players I go out and buy on Ultimate Team when the game comes out. Next I'd say is Laurent Koscielny, the centre-back from Arsenal. Very underrated. I really think he's one of the best, if not the best defender in the Premier League at the moment, and obviously Bayern Munich, I believe, have had interest in him in the past, and I really think that he suits so many big club statures that he would be a great signing if he ever went anywhere. I hope he doesn't, because he's a great Arsenal player and he really is a phenomenal defender in their back line. Then we got William Carvalho and Rui Patricio of Sporting. Well, it's quite controversial. I said I like FC Porto and I have a couple of Sporting players in here, but they really are fantastic players. Rui Patricio has just been one of those players that I've just loved watching play, and he obviously did really well with Portugal at the Euros, and the same with William Carvalho. I think they're fantastic. Carvalho would have been a fantastic signing to Premier League. He's never made that switch. Very frustrating, but obviously one day he will do. And then we've got Andre Schürrle, who's just joined Dortmund. I think he was fantastic at Chelsea. It didn't really work out for him, but he is still a great player. And I think that he should do really well this season. Then we've got Yassine Brahimi of FC Porto. He's a great Algerian player. And you've obviously got Brahimi, Soleimani and Mahrez as the Algerian attacking trio. And they are fantastic players. I wouldn't say Mahrez is one of my favourite players though. And then the final two, Nicolas Gaitan and Ezekiel Garay. Garay is a phenomenal defender. It was stupid of him to go Zenit really. But I used to like it when he was playing in the Portuguese league for, I believe, Benfica, along with Nicolas Gaitan. And they obviously were in one of my teams back in the day on Ultimate Team, where I built a Portuguese league squad and had all the best players in there when Jackson Martinez was a Team of the Season card, and they really were fantastic. Gaitan's at Atletico Madrid and Garay's gone to Valencia. Two phenomenal players. I'll definitely be building a squad with those in the near future. And just to round it off, I just want to say the most famous footballer that I've met is Teddy Sheringham. I met him at a Millwall versus Dartford game in about 2010, 2011, I believe, somewhere about that time. And he was cheering on his son, Charlie Sheringham, when he actually played for Dartford. So that's just one of those things that I think that I was just very happy to meet. Obviously, I was quite young back then, so it was a big deal. And it still is a big deal. He was fantastic in the Premier League, and I still think he is a very good player throughout his entire career. It is a big shame, though, that he did go to West Ham. But we can forget about that. So anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this 200 subscriber special video. I am honestly so grateful. Thank you guys so much for watching my content. But obviously, until my next video, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.